Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a Spurler. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 318.
Sexiest podcast on all the networks, including television.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's a new title we have.
Oh wow, I didn't see that in Variety this week. So, Well, in case you're new to the show, I'm Brian.
Hey, I'm Tony.
And,
hey now,
hey now, yeah. Tony with weather.
Oh, and this is Doc Thirst.
What could I write? Be like, what? I don't know. I can't tell you what episode to go back to.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's be honest. It's probably not a lot of people. It's, we only get like 12 downloads. So, I mean, it's...
That's true. So 11 people are like, what?
Yeah. What? Huh?
Doc what?
What? Yeah.
Say Doc Frost? Is that a Batman villain?
It does sound like one, but no.
I know, right?
Maybe Mr. Freeze.
Doc Thirst could be a Batman villain. He like dries people out.
Oh, I was thinking he's just a creepy.
You're so thirsty.
I thought he'd be like a creepy internet dude.
Oh.
Oh, better yet, we'll combine the two. He makes people into thirsty like zombies.
Nice.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Hey, gorgeous.
Sexy selfie. Hey, girl.
Hey, beautiful.
I just went through and liked all your photos.
I'm retweeted all of your selfies. Cause, I mean, I don't know, that's creepy shit. I'll tell you what. I've had various female friends of mine on Twitter be like, yeah, some dude just went through and like retweeted a bunch of my selfies. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah. I'm not going to be stealth about this at all.
Yeah, right?
Oh, maybe it's like, oh, geez, I accidentally hit retweet when I was frosting my knuckles.
Yeah.
Son of a.
Over and over and over. Jesus. Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I mean, we've ranted plenty of times on here about guys on the internet being guys on the internet. So,
or just guys in general.
Or just guys in general, yeah. I think it just shows more on the internet because, you know, like in real life, it's a little more covert usually. You know,
There's
like
some about like the blue light bathing you and you're covered in Cheeto dust with no pants on that just brings that out in you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a full moon to a werewolf.
Yeah, basically. Well, it's actually kind of black because I'm using night mode, so, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know, romantic and all.
Romantical.
Actually, I use it because I switched, once Twitter offered a night mode, I use it all the time now because the regular screen, even if I turn the brightness down, can trigger my migraines. So, whereas night mode doesn't really seem to do that. So
like my theme is black as my soul.
Also that, yeah. That makes sense. I mean,
like, you know, man, that's so deep.
It is. Reminds me of a Nine Inch Nails song.
Right?
I forgot what I was going to say next. It happens.
All right.
Yep. So, all right.
Well, here we are, Brian.
Indeed.
Sitting in our respective studios.
Mm-hmm. Talking about
on a Thursday, which is weird.
A Thursday.
Thursday. But that's why I have all the beverages around me.
Right.
But that's, you know, it's for a good reason. It's for a good cause.
It is, yeah.
Because, you know, we got some shenanigans we're up to tomorrow.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Right? It's actually going to be a weird weekend because we're going up to Detroit twice.
I know, right?
2 days in a row. We should just stay up there.
I know, right? That'd be great.
Yeah. I know, just sleep in an alley. Yeah. Not get stabbed.
I don't know that that's going to happen.
Right? I don't think so.
Well, we could sleep in an alley, but I think
not getting stabbed.
Good chance we'll get stabbed. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, definitely. Someone's definitely going to roll us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we're going to, which I'm sure you'll hear on the teaser, the next episode of Salty Language. We're going to check out a little concert action tomorrow.
Yep.
Plus, I'm sure if you peruse our social medias, you'll see some of it.
Right. Gonna go see Braided Veins again. Because last time we saw them, they played a short set, and we were like, wow, these guys are really good.
Exactly. And we're like, I enjoyed this. I can't remember who. It's Braided Veins. I'm pulling it up. God damn it.
All right, you do that.
Let's see here. It's going to be the Braided Veins with Child Bite, Multicult, and Vincus.
All right.
Or V Incas.
I don't know. I feel like we're going to a cult thing.
Kind of sounds like it. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with fitting in, you know?
Exactly. I got to click on Child Bite here.
All right.
Okay, they don't even really have I was like hoping to see a picture of them. But it's just their tour dates. They're playing a Devil Driver somewhere, though. That's pretty sweet. They must be a metal band.
Yeah. I think that was the band that I was talking about that I looked up on Twitter, and I said they remind me of like a 90s metal band.
Boy, this guy's got an excellent beard. Now that I'm pulling up some images of these dudes.
Oh, I thought you were just looking up beards on. You just got distracted.
He's got an excellent beard.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah. And then here's a picture of a kid biting our kid's nose.
Well, I mean, that's appropriate.
That's fantastic.
Child Bite. So.
Child Bite.
That should be a good time.
I know, right? Definitely.
Time for some big dumb PBRs and some rock music.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea, really.
Yep. Yeah, and then Saturday we're going back to Detroit for some barbecue.
Yeah, a little that birthday nonsense.
Yep.
For your nephew and Jeannie of Salty Language.
I thought it was
I'm sorry, Hobie.
Yeah, all right.
I keep forgetting she defected.
Formerly of Salty Language.
Yeah, I feel like I'm Putin over here and someone left my cabinet, you know? Like, damn it. I got away.
You're going to have her
James
killed?
Bond smuggled him out in that weird tube thing. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that should be a shit show also. And,
Probably.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see how the night goes.
He's like, how do night moves? Like Bob Seger?
Yeah, of course. Well, we're in Detroit.
We are in Detroit.
What better
I'm putting
place?
on my Bob Seger leather banana hammock just for this occasion.
The one that's got Bob Seger's face on the front?
Yeah, of course. I got to freshly lacquer it, though. I got to make sure it's all shiny and new.
It says come to Papa on the back end.
That'd be amazing. Got to look real close, though, because it's a thong.
All right. Well, I guess I'm not going Saturday. Oh, shit. It is true, though. I mean, Bob Seger's, he's going to be playing the last concert up at the Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My sister just went and saw him when he was in Toledo last week or whatever.
Right.
I was like, how was the concert? She's like, oh, my God. Played all the hits, I guess. And he's like, what is he, like 93 or something crazy?
Yeah, something like that. He doesn't have that incredible mullet that he had. He had that kind of like feathery part down the middle, and then the cascading mullet down to his shoulders. It was fantastic.
Like the Angel Falls of mullets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just beautiful.
No, I think
majestic.
He cut it, and I don't know. I think that you just lose your power when that happens.
Say that's when he started decaying.
Yeah. Before that, he looked like he was 30. As soon as he cut it, boom, 75.
Yep. Drank from the wrong vessel.
He chose poorly.
Yeah. That's what happens when you change up your majestic hairdo to something normal.
Yeah. Well, not many people commit to hockey hair for their whole life, And that's...
I suppose. Unless you're always in the playoffs.
Well, that's true.
That's how I live life. Like I'm always in the playoffs.
That explains why Yager had that mullet for so long. Because the Pens were always in the playoffs.
Wow, yeah. I'm pulling up some images of Bob Seger now. Not as majestic.
No.
Especially because he's got that like that Dre gap tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at this old picture of him. He's got like this pre-mullet.
Okay.
He's got long, luxurious hair, and then he's got the Lemmy mustache. It's excellent.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a good look.
That is a good look, yeah.
And then he just turned into this.
Yeah, well, it happens,
It seriously looks like if, like Dre was in a movie, and he was like, I'm going to play an old white guy. I don't know what that movie would be called.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's closer to something Ice Cube would do at this point.
Well, yeah, this is very true. But he doesn't have that gap tooth.
Yeah, they can put it in post or something, or just knock a tooth out, like Ed Helms did for. No, he didn't. He already had the tooth missing.
He did.
Yeah,
indeed. Indeed. In the actual fuck, I can't get off this. I'm looking at Bob Seger images, and I don't know what's going on.
In your trousers?
Yes, in my lacquered banana hammock.
Yeah.
My Bob Seger fan club banana hammock. What do you think the Bob Seger fan club's called? They got to be called something
like Night Movers or something like that.
Oh my God, it's got to be it. It's some lame like that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Or what's the On the Road Again? What's that song called? Here I Am on the Stage.
Oh, Turn the Page. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So to Turn the Page is terrible.
No.
Oh, probably like the Silver Bullets.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it would be.
Rumble with Werewolves.
There it is, Bob Seger Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club, of course.
Well,
should be the Bob Seger Eat a Bullet Club.
I got to tell you though, it's funny because there's a faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling that's called the Bullet Club. So
really?
I didn't know Bob Seger was part of that.
Did everyone forget about the Bullet Boys?
They must have.
Right?
I'll tell you, I kind of want to Photoshop Bob Seger's head on a wrestler's body and, in the Bullet Club now.
I like it.
Obviously the one with the Lemmy mustache.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that was the Bullet Boys' big hit, Smooth Up In Ya.
Everyone already knew that, though.
I mean, Brian, smooth up in ya.
I was like, wow, do you have that on the soundboard? What a weird pull that would be.
That would be.
If I did editing, I'd, drop a sample of it as like bed music or something, but.
Holy shit, Steven Adler played drums for the Bullet Boys?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Maybe that was after they kicked him out of Guns.
Probably.
I'm sure, Neil or Henno would know exactly what's going on here.
They might.
Yeah.
Maybe they would know. I don't know.
I think.
Never know.
So what's the Bullet Boys official fan club members? The Smooth Up in Ya?
Oh, man. That would be a terrible name. That's what that would be.
That would be a terrible name. All right. We got to get off of this nonsense.
We do.
All right.
Ridiculous.
That might have changed my Q to W answer now.
God, I hope not. If somehow that, anyway, I don't want to give it away. They'll have to wait to get to the end of the, well, I guess I could just scrub to the end of the show and listen to it, but,
we don't want no scrubs, though.
I know. Scrub is anyway. So how was your week?
It was a good week. Busy, like normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, whatever. That's what it is, right?
Yep.
But, sorry, I'm writing. Last weekend we went to the Renaissance Fair up in Michigan.
Yeah.
Man, talk about some people watching.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Holy hell.
Mm-hmm.
There's something, I mean, it's fun to go. Have you ever been up there?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No.
It's fun to go to because it's basically like, it's a big, huge area and it's just, taverns and like crafty shit you can buy and just everyone's walking, not everyone, a lot of people are walking around in full gear.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's actors as well that walk around as, and play parts.
Oh, yeah, right.
So like the queen will walk by, and she's got her whole, court or whatever with her. And
yeah.
I don't know, it's fun. I mean, eat a turkey leg, drink some beer if you want.
Does anybody dress up like Macho King?
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
Go
We're
around.
talking about going again next year and actually dressing up.
See,
so
there you go.
I might have to, since I am planning on doing the old Macho Man.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, going in, making proclamations as the king.
Exactly. The queen walks away, more seductive than sex.
Right?
That'd be amazing.
You challenge the king. He's like, we'll joust. And be like, we don't joust. We settle this in the ring.
Yeah. In the squared circle.
Mm-hmm. Although, given those times, if there was to be any sort of jousting by the king, usually somebody would be a proxy.
Yeah.
So the king wouldn't get killed, basically.
And in my name, this guy would fight.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Macho Man's, I'll do it.
Bonesaw is ready.
Just beats the shit out of the other guy.
Elbows. Climbs up on the fence.
Yeah.
Drops the flying elbow.
Takes the guy's shoe off and just beats him with it.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, it would.
Incredible.
Yeah. I would like to watch this.
Yes. No, but I mean, it's a good time. It's worth going at least once in your life to a Renaissance fair.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, if you want to see some, big old floppy titties everywhere, everyone's always wearing corsets and stuff.
Sure. Like you were. I remember. I saw the
Oh,
pic.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was to get a custom corset for my testicles?
So you mushed them together to create cleavage, right?
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. Duh. Who wouldn't?
People listening are like, "Oh my God, this is
like what the first time listeners are like, what the fuck is going on?"
They're just spraying their lunch all over their car right now.
The turkey leg was delicious. We sat down, had a lunch, and it's like the Dragon Inn. That was our, it's just it's fun. I always, my thing is always I want to go there with people dressed up as time travelers,
right?
Like Doc and Marty from Back to the Future,
right?
Or like a Star Trek away team,
right?
That was always my thing. It's like, I don't want to dress up as like this one guy, and I should have got a picture of him because I saw him everywhere. This guy had the most ridiculous costume because he had on legit real chainmail.
Okay.
Like sleeves, the part that goes over your fucking head, like the hood, like a legit chainmail shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
And then over that, he wore a tropical shirt and was wearing a fedora. and he had a sword, like a legit metal sword.
So he was a knight that was on vacation, apparently.
It was just fascinating. I'd see him everywhere. I should have taken his picture.
Vacations were still dangerous in those days.
Apparently, you never know.
You don't know who's in the woods waiting for you or wherever you're going,
Right?
To leap out and steal your coin purse,
Exactly. It was fascinating to watch. I mean, although the best costume we saw there was this dude. Obviously, he's having some physical problems. So he's an electric scooter, but they had the electric scooter decorated so it looked like a barrel, right? And then they had all this shit and he was dressed up like a knight. And as he's cruising around, there's a guy behind him dressed up as Padre from Monty Python. He was clicking together coconuts.
That's great.
That was really good.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I love that stuff, like when you see like the cosplay from the, conventions and stuff where, like the one where it was the kid on the Iron Throne and, one, the kid's dad turned his chair into a Batmobile, I think it was.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Or there was a really old guy that was in full Renaissance garb, and his electric scooter, he had it all decorated so it looked like he was riding a dragon.
Yeah, sure. See?
And it was like stuff like that I appreciate.
I do too. Putting that, it's the little details,
Yes, yes. But yeah, it was a good time, and I don't know. Like I said, you definitely spend some money up there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because, I mean, all the crafts are, like they have legit blacksmith stuff there. Like Logan's like, I'm coming back next year. I'm buying a sword. And we looked on this because he grabbed business cards. He's like seriously thinking about it.
Sure.
Yeah, the swords range from like $550 to $750.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like, okay, son, why don't you, I don't know, save up for your car instead of a broadsword.
No. The sword gets the ladies.
I guess, right?
I mean, obviously.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm. Worked for King Arthur.
But yeah, it was a fun day up. Although it sucks because everything's dirt, so it's a lot of dust.
Oh yeah.
And it was also the what they call it, the Highlander fling. So they had like caber tossing and keg throwing. They had Highland games, and there's just all kinds of dudes walking around in kilts. Which I'm just because they actually have professional Highland like athletes,
Yeah.
And they were throwing, it was basically like a kettlebell, and you have to throw it over your head up over a, like a high jump pole that they keep raising higher and higher until someone can't do it,
Right.
Or until, the last guy can do it or whatever.
Yeah.
And all I could say is thank God these guys weren't traditional because they were squatting awfully low in their kilts to get some good thrust.
Yeah.
And thank God they all had on like athletic shorts on.
Right. So no one was scraping the ground is what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one was dropping corset or whatever.
Oh my.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'd be with you on that. Thank God they aren't traditional.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I would imagine that may have something to do with why they were wearing those.
I would hope so. Yeah. I imagine there's probably because since it's a Highland fling, there's lots of people in kilts, and I'm there's got to be more than one that was, traditional.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody was walking around with the old unfurnished basement.
Exactly. Hopefully it's not leaky.
It's a Simpsons quote.
Unfurnished basement.
Like Bart's walking around, and he's like, there's nothing like an unfurnished basement.
Well, I mean, he's right. He's got a point, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels nice. Mm-hmm. Put on that camouflage.
Yep.
Go all commando.
Or a nice wool skirt or kilt. I mean,
a wool skirt.
Whatever.
Boy, this is awfully scratchy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, did you watch the fight?
Yes.
Connor and me. It went about exactly as I thought it was going to go, to be honest.
Yeah. I agree. Mm-hmm.
All I could say is glad I didn't pay for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I actually found the post-fight stuff more interesting than the fight. I mean, it wasn't that it was look, it wasn't Mayweather's best fight, and, he really wasn't trying to put McGregor away, I think. I really don't think he was trying that hard, but whatever, it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what like I figured Conor's going to start off strong.
Yep.
And then as the fight went on, Mayweather was going to be eventually beating him down.
Well,
basically.
yeah, because he's used to fighting 12 rounds. His cardio's ready for 12 rounds, all that shit. So,
yeah, you could so see it in McGregor's arms.
Yeah.
And despite the fact after they TKO'd him, he's like, I'm good. Yeah. You're not good.
Yeah.
It would have been another round. You would have been on your ass.
Yeah, probably. Well, that's why I was telling Heno last night that there's one of the shots that Mayweather landed right in that last flurry that McGregor got his hands up, but he left his hands just enough apart basically for a glove to fit through. Mayweather was right on the money with it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that's what he's going to do. And, and again, he's knocked out 22 guys. I mean, I know there was a lot of, he doesn't have knockout power. And it's like, out of his 50 fights, he's knocked out 22 of them. That's not terrible.
I know, yeah, he doesn't have the power that he probably had when he was young, and he's broke his hands a million times.
Right, and also he was in a lower weight class. So that's where he had his knockout power. Once he went up a class, he kind of lost it. And like you said, he's got fragile hands. That's why he said he didn't spar for a month before the fight, because he wanted his hands to be 100% going in.
Can't say I blame him, right?
Yep.
It should.
I loved it, like, after the fight, when they go into the locker room to talk to Conor McGregor, and he's got a glass of whiskey in his hand.
Well, see, I didn't see any after-fight stuff because it was so late.
Oh, right.
And we were out in Waterville, which is going super local here, but it's like a half-hour, 40-minute drive back to my house from there. We were like, see ya,
Yeah, it was like they go in the locker room, McGregor's standing there, and he's got like a plastic cup with whiskey in it. And,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, and...
Was that Irish Gatorade or something?
It must be. It's like, you just went 10 rounds, in a boxing match. You'd think you would want to be getting water or protein stuffs into you.
You would think.
But nope. Whiskey. I loved his comment when he was talking about how he felt the fight was stopped a little short, and then he's like, in UFC, the refs want to see a nose on the side of your fucking face.
Well, that's pretty accurate, though.
Yeah. But, I'll give him a lot of credit, though. One thing he did was he was really humble toward Mayweather. Like, couldn't say enough stuff about, like, he even said, he's like, as the fight went on, he changed his strategy. I wasn't prepared for that. That's his experience. As the rounds went on, I was a little tired. He wasn't, he was just doing all that stuff. And he was even at the podium when they were taking questions, and Mayweather was still out, like, sitting on the table there. And he even was like, much respect to you, man. Like, just.
Well, I was very much surprised by actually, not really. Sportsmanship at the end was incredible.
It was.
But, I mean, that's always something I've always known. I mean, despite all the shit talking Conor does, it always seems like he's a very good sport at the end of the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I did, like, when the guy from ESPN was talking with him, the guy was like, you look like you were having fun out there. And he's like, I love to fight. So I was like, he really did. I mean, he did look like he was enjoying himself out there, but at the same time, it was, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you said, it wasn't a big surprise. It was, if anything surprised me, it went 10. I think most people were giving him about 5 to 7 rounds, Yeah,
I agree. That's kind of where I was at. I was just like, wow, he lasted 10 rounds of Mayweather.
But you're right. I really think, and one of the guys on ESPN who's like their boxing expert or whatever, he was like, that referee saved Conor a bunch of head damage. Yeah. He's like, that's why he called the fight right there, is Conor wasn't getting his hands up well enough. And he's like, and he was seeing him taking significant shots. So he's like, he called the fight to protect him, and I was like, yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, from the UFC side, of course, you're like, oh, come on, what is that? But in boxing, that's an extreme level of punches, without a knockout. Again, in UFC, they would have just kept going because there's no knockout. He's getting his hands up. So
he looks so wobbly too. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed the evening because we hung out with my brother-in-law, my sister, and like their friends, and we had a fun time.
That's cool.
But I mean, like I didn't really watch the undercards.
I didn't either. Nobody cared about those fights.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I felt bad for whoever was fighting in them, but nobody gave a shit.
I watched. I think we watched the first fight. I think because some guy came out with this weird big blue fuzzy hat thing,
like
and he had like the fuzzy stripes down his pants.
Yeah, it was like Cookie Monster or something.
Yeah,
like that.
we're all like, what the fuck? Like I watched that one. But
I didn't watch the fight, but I saw pictures of that guy because obviously Twitter's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was like I don't know. I didn't understand that. And when they showed a crowd, there's like 20 people out there.
Yeah, there really was.
Arena.
Yeah, there really was for most of the undercard from what I saw from ESPN footage. They didn't fill up until just about right before the big fight.
Right.
And how brilliant was it of Mayweather that they told him there was an outage in the pay-per-view things in certain areas to where they were blacked out for a little bit. And he was like, well, we got to delay the fight then. And I was like, that's so smart because then everybody gets to see the full fight. Otherwise you get a bunch of angry people.
I know people talk shit about Mayweather too, but he is very good at what he does, boxing and marketing.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he's got where he is with all his riches.
Yeah.
Although I don't really understand what he came to the ring in.
I don't know if I saw his entrance.
It was like all black with gold zippers.
Yeah.
And then he had the ski mask. Oh shit! I just hit the mic. He had the ski mask on for some reason.
That's right. I don't know what that was.
It was
about.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do? Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
one last thing I saw was
good.
Chael Sonnen was calling or working with ESPN for the fight because they had boxing guys and MMA guys on the panel, of course.
Right.
And Chael Sonnen was like, he's like, I like that, he's like McGregor, he's like, he was humble and he goes, but by him keep bringing up that early stoppage, he's like, he's automatically promoting the next fight.
Right.
Basically. And it's like, I don't think there's going to be a part 2 to this, but I mean, they could, but I don't see the point.
They could, but I think it's over.
Mayweather got to 50. That break pushes him past Rocky Marciano, even though a lot of purists are going to be like, this shouldn't count. Because in no other sport could just some random guy basically walk in. Like you're not going to, some guy from the NFL is not going to just get to walk on the court with the Lakers and play,
Right.
So this is a really weird setup.
Like I used to play JV basketball. Mind if I get in here?
Yeah. Give me the ball. Like
who the fuck do you think you are?
Why isn't security tackling your ass?
Like what is this 3-man or whatever that shit's called?
Yeah, right. So yeah.
Were you aware that DirecTV does wireless now?
No.
Yeah, because when I got to my brother-in-law Brian, I get over there and he's like, "Hey Tony, come here." I'm like, all right. We go down to the basement. He's like, hey, give me a hand here. Hold these cords and shit. And I'm like, what are you doing? He took his whole TV and just put it out on his back deck.
Okay.
So we just sat outside and watched the fights because it's wireless receivers for DirecTV now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he took it outside, plugged it in, and we got a fire going, just sat outside and watched the fight. It was actually really nice.
Yeah.
I think his neighbors probably hated us, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, probably. That seems good and bad. You can still hook it up via wire, right?
Yeah, well, like there's one wire that comes into one box, and then that box broadcasts out.
Okay, because sometimes like the Wi-Fi doesn't hold real well, or like if your internet gets choked a little bit,
Yeah, it was. I just was like, I didn't know this was the new thing now. This is kind of cool.
Makes sense. Everything's going wireless, so why not?
It's true.
Mm-hmm. I prefer my TV and stuff. I really prefer it to be wired if possible because it's more stable and faster.
Right.
But whatever.
But Brian, no spaghetti. Mom, no spaghetti. Rabbit wrapping. Something. I don't know the lyrics. Fuck me.
Wow, it's like Eminem was on the podcast.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Macho Man.
Yep. Oh my.
But yeah, glad I got to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, amen to that.
That's pretty much what I'm summing up here.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, like I said, I know a lot of people complained about it, but I was like, if you went in expecting a great fight, you're an idiot. I'm sorry.
Right.
You should have went in expecting it to just be a freak show. And if so, I was entertained by it. I was by the whole thing, like the talk afterwards and stuff when both guys were humble and stuff. I mean, I honestly think McGregor was a little more humble than Mayweather because Mayweather was kind of still like, yeah, but he's that guy. We had a plan, kind of like,
right.
But they were still both pretty good about it, and yeah, it was funny. McGregor when he's at the podium too, he had another glass of whiskey. And one time a guy goes to ask him a question, he takes a sip of whiskey and he's like, the whiskey burns. Or that whiskey's good, I'm sorry. And it just cracked me up. I just laughed so hard, Heno and I were talking though, and a related thing, and then we'll move on because I'm sure most people are like, what the hell are they doing? Heno and I were talking last night though. It's like, you kind of wonder, and I talked with Fluffy Bunny Ash about this too. It's like, you kind of wonder if this is going to create a monetary problem for UFC.
Right.
Because McGregor just got a taste of boxing money.
Yeah.
And boxing money is way bigger. I mean, obviously, he's walking away with at least $100 million off this fight. I'm curious to see what the final numbers are.
Well, I mean, honestly, at this point in McGregor's career, he could just hang up his gloves.
Yeah, he really could because he's gotten that kind of payday. So
and he had that training partner / friend of his that died from head trauma, fight related head trauma.
Yeah.
Like I think last year or something.
Yep.
And I know he's said, I remember him saying something about about fighting after he had his baby.
Yeah.
So in all rights, he could just open up a gym.
Yeah.
Hang up the gloves and go and live the good life without having mental trauma.
Yeah. Or again, he's a guy that I'm sure WWE would love to bring in.
Well, there's that too. Or I mean, he's such a good talker that he could easily find a job on a mic somewhere too.
Yeah. Well, the only problem with him on a mic is he cusses like crazy.
Well, yeah, they'd have to rein him in a little bit. Either that or give him the HBO or something where it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're right. Because he drops F-bombs left and right. That's why it was funny to me when I was watching SportsCenter, they had to keep beeping him out. And the one, anchor was like, sorry about all those, cuts in the audio, but we're trying to keep the language, safe.
Naturally.
Yeah. So, all right, well, let's move on because we don't want to, we can yammer about this anytime.
So I saw something today that was as confusing, Brian, as it was titillating. Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. So I'm, it's a, it really makes me feel like just a filthy old man, unfortunately, now that I think about it.
Well, you are.
But I do a lot of work for colleges with the job I have, so I'm on campus a lot.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I'm, enjoying some water after I get done throwing around some freight. And, I just corner my eye, I just see flesh because that's what guys do, guys being guys.
Right.
And I glance over, right? And there's this girl walking. And those goddamn jumpers that everyone's a huge fan of these days?
Yeah.
And mind you, it's a little chilly this day, but she's wearing one of these goddamn jumpers, right? And I'm not even joking. There was a good quarter of her ass just completely exposed. I'm staring at the bottom of this chick's ass.
Right.
As she's walking by. But she's also wearing a hoodie with the hood up.
It reminds me of the people who used to wear like sweatshirts or sweaters and shorts. It was always weird to me. But, yeah.
Which one? I mean, whatever. I guess the jumpers are comfy and all, whatever.
Sure.
But how do you not know your whole asshole's hanging out?
Well, she just clearly doesn't care.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
And then if you're chilly and wearing a hoodie, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I just don't understand the fashion. And maybe it's just because she's young and, whatever, just young and dumb.
Yeah, that's probably it. Well, it's just like when we go to the beer fest, there's always that girl, like we've talked in the past, there's always at least one girl who's wearing something that is horribly inappropriate for the weather. You know,
Yes.
like when it's cold out and they're wearing like summer clothes and you're like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I run like 1,000 degrees and I'm not dressed like that. I mean, I
Right.
look great in a sundress, but still, you know.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
We're going to Beer Fest, girls. Tits out. Like it's 16 degrees.
Yeah. 16's a good number. Sorry. Anyway, move.
Damn, Macho Man.
He's all over the place tonight. He's all excuse the pun, but he's all Randy to fight the king. You know.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I was very confused by the whole thing, and equally as confused and distracted.
What you need to do is start asking people.
Like, ma'am, you have delicious buttocks.
Yeah. Can I have a moment of your time?
Yeah, come over here in this big white van.
Right? She just sprays you with pepper spray and runs.
It's hilarious. I built up immunity years ago.
Yeah, right? I spray myself in the eyes with that every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your pepper spray is my iocane powder.
I would like to ask people stuff like that, though. You know, I'd love to have that ability to just walk up to people and not give a shit and just, like,
Like, clearly you're chilly.
Yeah.
But your whole asshole's hanging out.
Right? Like, this does not, I don't understand. This. Can you explain this for me, please?
Like, unless, is it meeting season? I wasn't unaware.
Might be.
Are you presenting? So confused.
It's just upside down cleavage, Tony. You just got to get used to it.
That's fine. I'll get used to it. Whatever.
Oh my.
Jeez, don't tell me twice.
All right, fair enough.
Right?
Yeah. Oh man. So what else? Anything else happened to you this week?
Well, I'm sure that people are getting sick of the old gym stories. But this one doesn't have to do with naked guys, which is nice for a change.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
He does get naked, but that's not the point of the story. There's a guy, he's a nice enough fella, but he's deaf.
Okay.
Right? Which, whatever. That's whatever, you have bottle caps for ears. I'm sorry, it sucks. Whatever. My problem is like, when you're over there, like, I'm like, shit, cleaning up my beard in the mirror before I, go for work or whatever.
Right, because you're going to be looking at delicious buttocks.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And he walks in and he's having a conversation with somebody. He must read lips, I'm assuming.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. But he has zero idea of how fucking loud he is.
Yeah, right? I mean...
And it's an echoey locker room.
Oh, right.
So even if I'm like way in the back, like showering, you just hear like, yeah. And I was like, oh, he starts like, it's insane. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my God, monster movie. I'm going to die today.
That's terrible.
Nice enough guy.
Yeah.
But it's always startling.
Yeah. That is interesting though. I had never thought about that, that you probably, I mean, you can feel the vibrations in your head,
Right.
But you still wouldn't necessarily know how loud you are, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know how you'd tell him. Be like, dude, your volume's too high. Be like, I don't know what volume is.
Yeah, right.
Like, damn it.
Yeah.
You're making too much noise. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
You're so loud. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no way to do it without being a complete asshole.
Right, for sure.
None. Well, there might be, but I don't know what it is.
Unless it turns into like some sort of Eastern Promises, naked locker room fight, which would be weird.
That would be pretty weird, yeah.
Because none of us are Russian, as far as I know.
Yeah. You can pretend, it's fine.
Okay. Perfect.
Just do terrible. You're all just doing Ivan Drago accents and,
Got those big dumb Russian hats on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you?
Be rushing into that one.
Come on. You're better than that.
No, I'm really not.
You're not. You're not. I know. I was trying to give you, benefit of the doubt there, but we can't do that.
Right now I am enjoying myself a pineapple Pilsner.
Okay.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, I bet.
Do you like pineapple?
I'm okay with it.
It's very pineapple, and then it's got like a weird like hoppy finish almost. It's interesting.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Who's the maker of that?
It's Shorts. Yeah, we when we bought beer for the fight, we just for some reason loaded up on Shorts beer. I don't know why. Like because there was a sour that came out with called Peachy Pom Pom.
Okay.
And it's peach pomegranate sour, which is it's really delicious, and it's like an 8.4.
Wow. Right.
Super dangerous beer.
Yeah, right.
for how it tastes.
Yeah.
So we got that, and then Jeannie got a 6-pack of her cider she likes, the Squishy from Starcut Ciders, which is just a division of Shorts.
Right.
And then she saw they had a Shorts variety pack that has I can't remember what the hell it's called. It was a black IPA that she wanted to try.
Neat. Yeah.
And it's like the only way you can get it is at the tap house or in that variety pack. So she's like, I kind of want to get this, and then I'm looking. I'm like, we bought all Shorts beer. Apparently, we're loading up on Shorts.
It's not,
It's not terrible.
No, they're a pretty good brewery. So
yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
but it's just weird.
Yep, I could see that.
And we're actually taking the plunge now, and we're going to start collecting on our Michigan deposits.
Oh boy,
because before I'm like, it's not worth my fucking time to stand in that awful hellhole.
Right, and fuck the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
but then we were looking at it and we're like, well,
when do we put out the salty language "fuck the planet" shirts?
You should write that down.
Do you know the on
Earth Day?
Yeah. All right. Do you remember the what is it from Robot Chicken? The like robot that bangs other robots.
Oh yeah.
Or
I don't remember what he's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Or there was one in like what was it in a comic or something where it was like a fruit fucker or something like that. Right. Oh no, that's from Penny Arcade, I think.
Dude.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
And someone's probably going to steal this from us, so maybe I shouldn't say it on the air.
Okay.
You make the call.
All right.
Should I say it or should I wait?
Nah, wait.
Okay.
Write it down though.
Yeah.
Because you'll never remember.
You're not stealing our idea, you fucks.
Until I post it later.
But seriously, we need to get this out for Earth Day because it's a great idea.
We can do that and then give some proceeds to, I don't know, companies that cut your own No, I'm kidding. But that's what I was thinking though, was like the robot that fucks things or something like that. But it's basically just, either that or we're just, Eiffel Towering Earth.
Right. Right.
All right. Fair enough. Let's move on.
I don't remember what the hell I was
saying
now.
Because
we drink a lot of beer and we buy it all in Michigan, and that's like a dime a can or a dime a bottle.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
And that shit really adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, I tried to wait in line once to get my bottle deposits, and there was just savages in there, and it stunk, and I'm like, I can't do this. It's not worth my time.
Yeah.
So I need to think of I wish I should send my kids to do it.
Yeah, you should.
I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't, like, again, I'm going local-ish. Doesn't the, like, Kroger offer a thing where you can go in and just do it yourself?
Yeah, that's where I was waiting.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, animals come from, like, in Ohio, every morning I see a dude looks like goddamn, like, dirty homeless Santa Claus without the beard and all the excess weight.
Yeah.
And the sleigh and the reindeer and the elves. It's just a homeless guy on a bike with a bag of cans.
Right.
I see him not every morning because that would be awfully productive of him, but I see him probably once a week.
Yeah.
Coming up like with just a giant satchel of cans. You're like, I know you didn't get these from Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is illegal to
do
that. Like, you're supposed to have to, I think, show your ID or whatever.
Some dude got busted for, I think, like checking in $20,000 worth of bottles or something crazy.
I remember that. Yep.
That were all out of state.
Yep.
Like,
because realistically, you didn't buy them in Michigan, so you shouldn't really be able to get the deposit on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the thought.
Freeloading cunt you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dang it. Stupid pen's not working.
How dare you, stupid pen.
I know.
Well, how about yourself? tough. It's pretty. I mean, I feel like I'm forgetting something from the week, but it is what it is.
If you remember it,
yeah, exactly.
Always go back to it. I started doing body weight exercises this week.
Nice.
And I learned a couple of things.
Can I recommend an app to you?
Yes.
It's called Gorilla.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. It's all body weight
that's
stuff.
That's right. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I learned a couple of things by doing this. And, I wasn't doing anything crazy, just like push-ups, trying to plank for, as long as possible because, it takes a while to actually do it with any length of time because, my core is hella weak. Squats and what else was I doing? Oh, like crunches and, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. Right. And, because like with the squats, I was like, well, I got to test my knee out because, I've had issues with that one. I tore the meniscus in. And, good news on that. That held up. I didn't do very much. I only did like 10 or 15 the first day. I was like, well, we'll see how it feels tomorrow, and I got up the next day and it felt like I had used it the day before. So I was like, okay. So I've been pushing it a little bit as I'm doing it.
Nice.
So, what I learned though is first of all, I am incredibly out of shape, which I knew. But I also learned that I can't do push-ups because of, my elbow. Like with that ligament, that ligament that I hurt in there.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't remember. It wasn't very many push-ups. It was like 5 or 6. And my elbow right where that ligament is just burned. And I was like, I need to stop because this hurts. So yeah, that was something. So I know,
so you could always start with like wall push-ups. Well, that's try to strengthen up that ligament a little bit.
Yep. That's what I did was I immediately looked up alternatives.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, I know there's gotta be stuff for people who can't for various reasons. The other side of it too is I'm 300 pounds. So, me doing a push-up is not as easy as someone who's a lot lighter than me, especially if I don't have a lot of upper body strength, So I was, but I was like, okay, well, I'll do wall ones. And, I think I have an exercise ball over in my, storage. So I was like, I could do, basically where you're doing like a bench press on that instead where it's still,
I did that for a long time.
Yeah, where it still works out basically the same muscles,
Yeah, it's good for your core too. Try to stay on that ball.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can go get that and do that, So, but I've done it 3 times this week, and I've haven't hurt other than my elbow. I had to take
dial it back a little.
I did, yeah. I skipped one day altogether because of the elbow, and my knee was bugging me a little bit, not in a like tired way, but in a like I have a shitty knee, so it hurt, and that's the difference, the a little bit of tightness or whatever. It's like I can work through that, but pain is another story.
Right.
I'm not going to work through that. So yeah, but which it's good for me because that's, not something I've been doing. And, exercise is supposed to help with depression, and I also don't sleep well, and exercise should tire me out more. There's all the reasons to do it. So.
Shredded.
Right. Yeah, I'm a long way from shredded, dude.
Dude, every journey starts with a single step.
Oh, I know.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Well, what stinks, though, is it's like, there's all this stuff that basically says the best way to lose weight exercise-wise is throwing weights around.
Yeah,
because
build up that muscle.
Yeah, and muscle burns more than fat does, or the other than like cardio or whatever. But unfortunately, when I moved, I didn't keep my weight set, so I really don't have much. So, it's like, damn it, I got to kind of start over.
Well, I mean, I know I've been preaching these for a while, but one single kettlebell, you can get a lot of shit done with.
Yeah. And probably kill myself.
Well, you don't have to get a heavy one. I mean, shit.
No, I just meant from my clumsiness. Oh. I'd probably swing it down and somehow find a way to get out of whack and crush my knee with it,
Slips out of your hand, goes through the wall.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that would happen to me. Or better, no, it wouldn't go through the wall, it'd go through my TV. That's what it would,
exactly, sparks.
And I'd be like,
son of a bitch.
Yeah. So anyway, but that was, it's really a big deal for me to.
Yeah, well, let's say that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, even though it's only a few days, it's still, it's a start.
And it's one of those things that it seems like the more you do it, eventually you hit that point where like, oh, I didn't do it, and now I kind of miss it today.
Yeah.
Like today, I woke up late as fuck and didn't go to the gym, and it kind of sucks.
Right.
I missed it this morning.
Yeah, like the day that I didn't do anything, I felt kind of like I was kind of fighting internally about like, don't take the day off, because I did it mostly because of my arm.
Right.
And my shoulder, which I fixed the shoulder thing at first because I was like, when I was it was from doing push-ups with bad form. It was putting all the weight in my shoulders instead of in your chest and arms.
Right.
So for anybody out there, if you didn't know that, look up form for a push-up before you start doing those, because you can screw your shoulder up if you're not careful. And I had issues with my right shoulder years ago because bowling and all that stuff. I think I hurt my rotator cuff a little bit, so. Whatever. Anyway.
Right.
But I felt guilty, even though it was only
a few days.
Yeah. Because, and I was also like, if you stop, you may not start again,
right.
Like that kind of thing. So
you're just kind of holding yourself accountable, huh?
Yeah. My doctor wants me to try to hit for at least 3 days a week. He's like, if you get more, great. But he's like, if you can do 3 days a week, he's like, that's really what we're looking for, is just at this point, it's like, just get moving.
Right.
And, then you can up things and whatever down the road. Cause like you said, there's tons of body weight exercises that I can do. Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure there's probably like body weight workout in a day accounts and shit too on Instagram or something.
Like I said, I've got that DDP yoga on my computer too. I need to just take my computer in the other room and do that, because that's all body weight stuff. Like you don't really use weights for it. There's no jumping, so it's minimal. What do you call it?
Like impact.
Yes,
whatever.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all low impact stuff, because again, it was built for old wrestlers.
Right.
They can't jump and move real well. So, that's probably what I'm going to do. But I was kind of like, well, I want to do something to kind of get moving a little bit first, and then I'll start maybe doing that. But I don't know, if I watch the video, maybe I'll just move to that. It may have some same stuff.
What was that thing? Oh, that Jake the Snake documentary or whatever. Watching.
Yeah.
That, and there's some. I think there's a video on YouTube. We might have talked about it on the show before. When it's this guy that was all jacked up, and he could barely do the DDP yoga, and then towards the end of the time lapse, he's like, Van Damme splitting and stuff. It was insane.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why, like you said, just seeing Jake the Snake and Scott Hall both, and how they look now versus when they first went to DDP, it was like, man, that's all you need for like testimony that it works,
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I just need to get into that. It just feels intimidating.
Well, for sure.
Like, cause I know, like I said, going in, I was like, I know I'm hell out of shape. Like, there's no question, cause I was doing nothing,
Right.
Because for a while it was because I fucked up my elbow, and then after that I fucked up my knees. So it was, kind of like, well, I guess I can't really do a lot.
Right.
So, yeah. That's the only thing that worries me. My elbow bothers me a lot. The knees I think will be okay, but the elbow really bugs me, what I didn't do though is I've got like a compression sleeve thing that maybe wearing that'll help.
Yeah, maybe. Kind of keep some stuff, keep it in place a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I took last week off from the gym because my ankle was so fuckered up, and then I was a little tentative Monday.
Yeah.
But everything was fine and dandy, so I was like, all right, here we go.
It's understandable, because you really don't. This is real life shit. It's like if you fuck up your ankle bad, it affects your livelihood. So
it's like, I don't have Affleck, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. That's kind of why when my elbow started burning, I was like, fuck this. Because, it's like, I don't want to make that worse to where I've got to deal with like a nagging injury,
Well, for sure. I mean, you definitely don't want to lift through the pain.
No.
Because that's you're just fucking yourself up.
Yeah. And when
especially, at our, we're becoming elders. Elder statesmen over here. We're not, young and like brimming with testosterone will heal overnight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, that was, like I said, it was a big deal for me because it's, I did the same thing when we were in high school. I don't know if you remember, like my senior year when I lost a bunch of weight, I was doing the same thing. Like I was doing like all body weight. I mean, I had like a few like, dumbbells and stuff that I could, throw around a little bit. But that was basically it. I was just doing body weight stuff. So, it was slow and steady, but I ended up losing 70 pounds, I think it was, so.
Right.
It's like, well, I did it once. I know it's going to be harder now because like you just said, old. So.
Yeah. I mean, it does,
Well, it's just.
It's harder the older you get, but whatever. It doesn't mean you still can't do it.
Yep. Exactly.
You see those pictures of like, 6-year-old guy and he's got like a 6-pack. It's like, the fuck?
Well, like that guy that I saw a few weeks ago at Walmart, remember? Where I was like, he's like ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, this was no bueno, but, I had a dentist appointment yesterday and it was, to go in for the, how you go in for the x-rays and then they have you come back for whatever it is you need to have done. It was just for the x-rays yesterday and I had a panic attack before, like when I got up and nothing really triggered it. I'm not afraid of the dentist. I've always been great about it, actually. I mean, I usually get nervous before I go, but once I'm there, I'm like, whatever, do whatever you got to do. Let's, I mean, like I said, there was one time I had the dentist do fillings on both sides of my mouth. So my whole mouth was numb, and he's like, are you sure? I'm like, fuck it, let's do it.
Right.
Numb my ass up. Let's go. And, so it was weird for me because I've never, like I said, I've never had a big, problem with going. But man, I almost called it and then canceled it because I was freaking out, but, I just kind of sat on my bed and, tried to focus on my breathing and, the stuff that I've learned in therapy and whatnot. And eventually I started feeling better. But when I went in there, dude, my blood pressure was like 155 over 90 something, 97 or something like that, which is ridiculous,
Right.
So, the woman that took my blood pressure, she's like, are you feeling okay? It's like, yeah, I'm okay. I was like, I just had a panic attack before I left the house.
No big deal.
She's like, are you okay now? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And the dentist came over and she's like, are you sure? She's like, I can, kind of give you something to help if you need it. I was like, nah, I'll be fine. I just.
Yeah, like, easy, lady.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. So, that was a good time.
Good, clean fun.
No.
Fine.
Yeah. Well, it was funny too, because then I got, we get done and my mom was like, if I take you over to the store, can you go in and get stuff for me? And I'm like, because grocery stores usually give me anxiety. And it was a Wednesday, which again, Blue Hair Day.
Blue Hair Day.
It's senior discount day for anyone who doesn't know. And usually, I mean, it's like, it's like watching Rick walk through Atlanta on The Walking Dead, basically, just people everywhere just moseying. And I'm just like,
Right.
And I just, want to, crush through them basically.
Start shattering graham cracker bones left and right.
Yeah. And, and really like I was kind of on edge anyway because of the, panic attack. But I went and did it, and which is, again, a big sign for me that I pushed through that, because in the past I probably would have been like, no, I got to go home, But I trying to push myself into stuff where I'm uncomfortable because it's the only way I'm going to get better from my anxiety.
Are you Scarface soundtracking this?
Push it to the limit. I couldn't. I was like, what are you I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Along the razor's edge.
Yeah, clearly.
Perfect. Oh man, there goes my QW answer to change again. Take it to the limit.
So yeah, that was fun. Except the fun. It really wasn't that bad though at the store. It was actually pretty calm, but there were a lot of old people in there.
Whoa. Boy. Rogue finger.
Apparently Flav wanted to join the fun. Quick side note, did you, I saw today that he's apparently suing Chuck D and Public Enemy for royalties.
Really?
Like, basically saying that they didn't pay him what he deserved.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So.
I don't know, what it go. I don't know the relationship there to politics.
Yeah.
In Public Enemy, but I just don't really see him like breaking out some amazing lyrics. Like, look at this song I wrote, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
like they said in that one documentary, it's like the biggest thing he brought to that group was levity, because they were so heavy with their lyrics and shit, because they were, political and very current eventish. And, so he brought kind of some just silliness to it.
Yeah. Here comes this guy with a Viking helmet and a giant claw.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
After Chuck D just broke down, what's going on in society.
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
Oh.
Wearing his, black shirt, black pants, black hat.
Yeah.
The Walter Cronkite of rap.
Yep. Then Flav busting in there looking like some scrawny Viking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But still,
weird.
yeah, I don't know, what their agreements were in those days and all that shit. So, whatever. But I just saw it and was kind of like, oh, man.
Like, I can't see Flav sitting down and be like, guys, bring the noise. Like, what? And he like breaks out all the lyrics for him,
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening.
I know, that's the thing, yeah, exactly. It's like everybody knows Chuck D was,
Yeah, and Chuck D's over there writing the lyrics and Flav's in the corner like, I don't know, probably his Viking helmet full of Coke or something.
Everyone's got to have a hobby, Tony.
I guess, right?
Speaking of a Scarface moment.
Oh, shit.
Burying your face in some Coke.
So cocaina?
Cocaina, yep.
Dealing that powdered goods.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned on the last show about how I hooked up my drawing tablet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You said it was kind of fucking with you a little bit?
Yeah, I still haven't made any progress.
Oh, fair enough.
I've tried a few things that our friend Matt suggested to me, like going into like the mouse sensitivity basically and seeing if that would help, and it doesn't seem to help. It like I said, I really think it's just in my head, because it's the whole I can't see what I'm drawing.
Right.
I'm not looking down at what I'm drawing, so I got to figure out a way to not obsess on that, I guess. I don't know.
I got an idea.
All right.
Take your drawing tablet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take some Gorilla Tape.
Mm-hmm.
Tape it to your computer monitor.
Smart.
Right next to where you're drawing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That would be really funny. This is brilliant, Tony. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so that's the update on the drawing tablet. That
Fair
there is
enough.
no update.
Well, it's like, Brian, a single journey.
Well, that's what I was telling him on the Crazy Life last night when we recorded, was it's like, when you look at this stuff, this has been a very productive week for me. Like I've done things that in the past I've kind of, really just put off or not bothered with, and I'm sure it's, has to do with the medicine increase and,
Well, it's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping it continues. I hope it doesn't like drop off, because when I took, like, I don't know if you remember when I had like the kind of like that week of mania when I started Trintellix.
Right.
And, I was like, oh my God.
That's the newest, like house DJ?
Trintellix? No, it does sound like one though, right?
I know, right?
But yeah, I had that and I was like, oh, I can do everything. And, then after like the first week, I was like, oh, I'm back to normal, which was good because I was basically redlining for a week. That was no fun. So yeah, I'm hoping it's not that to where this will only last about a week or something. And then
Need that happy medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll definitely have to, keep tabs on you here on Salty Language and in real life too, obviously.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Only on the show.
Yeah. I don't care about you.
This is all a fallacy. We're just together for the show.
Next, behind the podcast.
Exactly.
Brian,
speaking of behind the podcast.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier today. By earlier, I mean right before we started recording.
Okay.
Whatever happened to Graphic Novice?
I don't know, man. You got to pour one out for him, I think.
I mean, I feel like we need this. What happened to the boys at Graphic Novice?
We need to put up like lost flyers You know?
Exactly. Us going around with telephone
Yeah.
Lost podcasters reward.
Yep. Get them on milk cartons, you know?
Exactly. So yeah, it's very confusing to me.
I know.
Because you said you haven't really seen them on the Twitter machines at all either, have you?
No, and it's possible I've just missed them, but I haven't seen them. So
yeah. I mean,
sad day, fam.
It's a sad day. I imagine they both like put on their little knapsacks and looked over their shoulders.
Yeah.
Walked out of town. That's Nickel heading up into the woods.
Yep.
Canada.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's VF, I don't know, getting into his chickens.
I was like, feeding them chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Little callback there. I don't know if you remember that.
Boy, hell of a callback.
Yeah.
The episode whatever, Sexy VF.
Ooh. Very sexy.
Yeah, so it's weird.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's sad.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do?
Maybe there's some sort of like murder-suicide pact.
Could be.
There's just like a couple of podcaster skeletons somewhere.
I'm sure there's some up at Nichols' cabin.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is if by chance the episode, the last one they put out is, happens to be the last episode, it is funny that, we are a topic of conversation.
Yeah. The one where we runaway brided them.
Yeah. Does that implicate us in any way? Are we going to get questioned?
Maybe.
Is Ice-T going to show up and ask us questions?
Possibly. Well, one thing I could say is I'm not scared of Mounties.
Okay.
Your red jacket's ridiculous, sir.
I don't know, man. He had that taser and,
Yeah, but then Dudley Do Right.
Okay. All right. You're right.
Just saying.
Okay. Would have been so much better if when they made the Dudley Do Right movie, if they would have used the Mountie from WWF.
Right? Yeah, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, see what we're going to do here is get a crossover audience. Like,
right?
No, you're not.
Like, no, you're really not.
You're really not. All. Nobody liked this guy.
Right? Do you think there could be some sort of German propaganda film that's like Dudley Do Right?
Oh, Jesus. That is terrible. Terrible.
Couldn't help myself.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, there could be. Would I be surprised? No.
No.
I pretty much assume everything has been created at this point.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. You gotta go with that classic pun, though. The old, we did not see that coming.
Right. God damn it.
Well, yeah, it's, what happened to Graphic Novice?
Yeah.
So that should be another,
it's a mystery.
There's another one for you, Brian.
Oh.
Days of Future Past, but the wanted posters, and it's, Graphic Novice.
Oh my God, that'd
like
be
all
great.
Crossed out, and other podcasters all crossed out.
I was going to say, yeah, like have other podcasters crossed out too. Yeah, that'd be funny. Who's old man Wolverine on the front?
Trying to think who's been around the longest in our little community of podcasters that we're friendly with. Mm-hmm. It's tough to say because we are up to episode 318.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Well, you know what? This is easy. Forget it. It's you, but what we'll do is we'll make it to where you like there's a shadow kind of hitting you, so that you look like you have the raccoon mask on, basically.
Perfect.
So you look like old man, old Wolverine, but from the right angle, especially with his hair, how it, had those peaks or whatever, we'll just tweak it so it looks like a raccoon instead. Perfect.
Excellent.
Nailed it.
Is it just him in that poster, or was it him and Storm?
Oh, dude, I don't remember. I think it was just him. Maybe there was someone else. I don't remember. All right.
I'm looking it up, you sons of bitches.
Hit the Googles. This is terrible. We should both know this.
I know. All right.
I feel very ashamed right now.
Same here. Oh, it's him, and I don't know who that is. I can't tell.
Well, that's helpful.
Now
I got to look it up. Is it
him
Kitty
and somebody,
Pryde?
some chick in purple pants? But what it does mean is we can both be here.
Wait a minute. You son of a bitch. Oh my God, I can't type worth a damn.
You stink. How dare you, sir?
Also, why is it pulling up this? The first thing that popped up was that horseshit of a movie.
Oh, I know, right? No one wants that.
Nope. Actually, whatever. When I was there, I enjoyed it. Figures. I see a picture of it. I click on it, and it's like, oh, we're going to redirect you.
I mean, it's some broad in purple pants. I mean, there's nothing distinguishing about her besides she's got like a face going on.
Well, that's perfect.
All right.
Damn it, I want the comic book, not the stupid movie. There we go. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Kitty Pryde, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, jeez.
Because, yeah, right here. An adult Kitty Pryde, or Kate Pryde, transfers her mind into her younger self, the present-day Kitty Pryde, who brings the X-Men to prevent a fatal moment in history that triggers anti-mutant hysteria.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her on the cover. So, yeah, fun.
Yeah, I suppose. Boom.
All
boom,
right.
boom, shake, shake the room.
All right.
So, I saw this article.
Okay.
And I was curious because, you've shared it on the show that you're doing the internet dating.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it says 14 Tinder era dating terms you should know.
Okay.
So I was going to pop quiz you to see if you know any of these terms.
Probably not.
Yeah, I know, because I was scrolling through them. I'm like,
Because one, I'm not a youngster, and
yeah,
and two,
well, exactly. So it's figured it might be a little silly.
All right, let's go.
Do you know what normativity is?
No.
It says, coined by a philosophy professor, this term describes the assumption that every single person wants to be in a monogamous romantic relationship and would automatically be better off in one.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
So it says, it's seen as the default sexual orientation. You can use it whenever your best friend is pushing you to go out with someone you weren't excited about by saying, stop being so normative or whatever.
Or you could just say, stop being a cunt.
Exactly. Yeah, cunt punch.
All right.
Benching.
Benching? I mean, I got to assume that it has something to do with, like, in sports, how someone gets benched.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
Says this is what happens when someone puts a romantic prospect on the roster but not in play. They might bench you by agreeing to a date only to reschedule, maybe even several times. They're keeping their options open or probably dating multiple people at once.
Okay. That makes sense.
Breadcrumbing?
No, I don't know what that. I mean, it sounds predatory.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's similar to benching. There's only more communication than actual in-person interaction. Breadcrumbing is when someone sends a consistent stream of really complimentary text,
just to keep him
saying he misses you, only to never follow up and make plans.
Yep, just enough to keep you interested. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
What a
cuffing season.
No clue.
Apparently, it's nearly upon us.
Oh,
it's the period between October and February when it's colder out, and a regular Netflix and chill buddy might seem more desirable than keeping your options open. As it gets dark in the winter, the body produces more melatonin, makes us sleepy, groggy, more like a homebody. The lack of light might want people to stay in. So they're saying instead of like playing the game, you're like, I need one person for right now because it's cuffing season.
Okay.
I don't know. Demisexual.
I feel like I should know what this is, but I can't remember.
It says a sexual orientation for those who take a while to feel attracted to someone.
Oh, okay. I did know that, but I couldn't remember.
So they've described it as taking a while to warm up.
Fair enough.
This is one I think everyone probably knows, ghosting.
Yeah. That's where you set something up or you just quit communicating with someone.
Yeah, that's what it says. Cut off or end a relationship by cutting off all communication.
Yep.
Matrimania.
Matrimania?
Yes.
I mean, it seems like something that would be, somebody who's like obsessed with getting married.
Basically, it's described the over-the-top celebrating and hyping of marriage, coupling, and weddings. Mm. Yeah.
Not a wrestling event, though.
Rhea.
Rhea's an app, isn't it?
Yes, also known as Celebrity Tinder.
Yeah, I only know that because of a podcast I listened to the other night.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sapiosexual.
Oh, fuck. Which one is that? Is that the one where they like intelligent people?
Yes,
Okay.
finds intellect to be the sexiest thing.
Yeah, okay.
Ship.
Putting
This one's fucking lame.
putting yourself into a relationship, or you're in a relationship.
It's just short for relationship. Yeah.
I've heard that a bunch with people, people are shipping them. And I'm like, of course, because I'm an old man, I go, where? And then,
Yeah, like up to Boston?
yes.
Nice. Sliding into his or her DMs.
Well, that's
That's pretty
sending
self-explanatory.
messages via DM. Yeah.
Yeah. Slow fade.
No clue, but I would guess that it's probably, where you have a bunch of communication and you just dwindle it down.
Yep. It's not quite ghosting, but you slowly back off.
Okay.
Stealthing.
It seems like it would be, I don't know, because you can't really stay anonymous on Twitter or Tinder. I mean, so I don't know.
This is very much a face-to-face activity.
Oh, okay.
It's when a man removes his condom during sex without the partner's consent.
Oh, Jesus, that's terrible.
That is pretty terrible.
Oh, that is no
I got
good.
all stealth bomber on her.
Wow.
Like, what? I'm like, dude, don't you have gonorrhea?
Yeah, right. What are you doing?
Zombieing.
No idea.
It's when someone who's ghosted their way out of a relationship tries to re-enter their ex's life.
All right, I dig that one. I like that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are some new dating terms, apparently.
Mm-hmm. I knew a few.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I just guessed it some, just breaking the word down. But yeah, wow, that's fun.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't fucking type.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Me too, unfortunately.
All right, so what else you got? Anything else?
That's about it, like nonsense-wise.
Yeah, I've got a shut up and take my money.
Oh, shit. Let me get to the right page here.
Shut up and take my money.
Nice.
So they announced the other day. I saw you said you were catching up on Rick and Morty.
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
Are you caught up?
Yeah,
Okay.
We just watched the last episode today.
Okay, cool. Not that I'd be spoiling anything, but because they gave it away before the season started. In Funko Pops, they announced that there's going to be a Pickle Rick pop.
I saw that.
And one where he's got the laser, where he's just annihilating people.
Now, I saw a T-shirt today on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
The T-shirt, it's a black shirt, and it basically looks like you have a massive wound in your chest, and then it's like you could see through it, and it's Pickle Rick with his laser gun.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because when they first were showing the teasers for that episode, and I was like, I don't know about this, and yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing because he was just like, I'm a pickle, and he couldn't move or anything, and I'm like,
I'm like,
I don't understand what's going to happen in this episode, and then it turned into a whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
And
When he
I
rolls,
very much enjoyed it.
When he rolls off the table, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what is going to happen now? I was expecting like a dog to pick him up and run, or something along those lines, but it went a much
not
different
the way
way.
it went.
Not at all. So yeah, this season's been. I mean, this season's been pretty dark.
It's been very dark. Like Morty getting revenge for the guy who was busting on his sister's body image.
Man, that was so funny when he was just wrecking that guy.
I was just like, oof, man, this is a shadow of, a glimpse of future Morty right here.
My favorite so far was the, I can't remember the team, but like that superhero team.
The Vindicators.
Oh my God. I was laughing so hard at that episode. Spoilers, sorry. If you haven't
seen Rick and Morty season 3, you really need to watch it. Or if you haven't watched Rick and Morty at all, how is that possible? Because we've been ranting about Rick and Morty for a long time now.
Very true. Yep. I think this, I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday. I think it's on Sunday night, but I don't remember for sure. So you'd have to look, but, they're going to run, all the episodes for this season so far because they're not putting a new one out this week.
Oh, right on.
So you can, if you haven't seen them, you can marathon them, or if you have a DVR, set it up to record.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. It makes me so happy.
I was not expecting to like Pickle Rick as much as I did.
Yeah, me either. But in the end,
yeah,
it was great. Yeah. The best part about that is the one of the things I love the most about Rick and Morty is that no matter how ridiculous it gets, it's also a show that punches you in the feels. Like they really just lay out, like this season, with the divorce, or not divorce, the separation going on, and you just see Morty and Summer, as kind of struggling with this. And I love the fact they went to the therapy and, afterwards, Beth is just like, Beth and Rick are like, hey, let's go get drinks.
Yeah. Morty's like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Are we going back? That was great. But oh man, plus how great was the line in like the one where it was, him and, oh shit, I can't think of his name now.
Jerry,
yeah. When he's like, what did you think I was going to do? And he's like, kill me? He's like, wow, you really do need a win, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to spoil the whole season. I've already given away a lot. So, all right. So one more thing.
Yes.
Spoilers. What'd you think of the Game of Thrones finale?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, it sucks that we're gonna have to wait like a year or more for the next fucking season.
I was reading it might be close to 18 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that it might be a long time before it comes back. Which is weird because it's only going to be 7 episodes.
Right.
It's not like they're filming 20 episodes of it. It's like, geez.
But it's, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It does kind of feel like, and maybe it's just me, but it does kind of feel like it's kind of losing its bite.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit.
Yep. Adult Swim last night, you know how they have those random bumpers where it just has text on it in between shows? They had one that popped up last night that said Game of Thrones writing, and it from the beginning until 2017.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like it's losing it a little bit.
Yeah. One of the things I thought, like, I saw this yesterday, because it's like, it's like, something you probably missed, and I'm like, okay, and I generally look at those, because there have been things that, because every choice on that show is deliberate, Right. If you really know the show, they repeat phrases over and over. Certain characters are styled certain ways, that kind of stuff. So that, like, they talked about Arya, how the way she wears her hair is how Ned Stark wore his hair.
Right.
Stuff like that. Just little tidbits that lead you with the show. And so I've found some of that stuff interesting, but this thing I read yesterday was basically saying that they think that Bran is the king, the Nightwatch king.
I saw that somewhere too. That because he's got like the same facial structure and all of that,
and he was wearing very similar clothing.
Yeah,
and they also, did you see the other part of it where it shows like the aerial view? They froze the aerial view of the undead army or the walkers, and it looks like the dire wolf. That's the Stark's banner.
Oh,
symbol.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, and again, everything done in that show is done on purpose.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Really, it's like, like that would be an interesting twist in the end.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
I do appreciate a lot of because it's like, and it's true fans that remember them. Mm. But like you said, a repeating of phrasing.
Yeah. I don't remember that stuff. And then when I read it, I go, oh, yeah. Because
like the one I just saw, a couple episodes ago was the Hound and Arya. When she's like, oh, my sword's called Needle. And he's like, you named your sword? And she's like, all kinds of people name swords. He's like, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, all kinds of cunts.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Jamie, and I can't remember her name, the old broad who was the head of the house that they took over.
Right.
And she died. And, and they're talking about Joffrey. And she was like, what was Joffrey's sword's name again? And he's like, Widowmaker. And then she just goes, he was a real cunt, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And it's just like it's little things like that you would never, unless you're like, oh my God.
Well, the thing is too, I watch the seasons once usually. Sometimes, like when they've done their break in the past where they've done a couple weeks, sometimes I'll go back and rewatch. But generally,
Right.
I've just watched the seasons one time. And I know a lot of people, before the new season, they'll go through and watch like the whole run again. And it's like, I'm not one to go do that. So I don't
I'm not one to have that kind of time.
Yeah, I don't notice that stuff ahead of, while it happens, but that's why I read these things, is because I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't see that, but that makes perfect sense.
Right?
So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to the next season. But I don't know.
Is next season the final season, or is there
I
one
want to
more?
say it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
So
I could be wrong, but
yeah. I mean, it feels
it's been
like
known to happen.
They're kind of at the point of it, because really the story really is not. It's never really was supposed to be about fighting for the Iron Throne. I think as much as it looked like it was really about ramping up the fighting the White Walkers or the Walkers and the Night King.
That was since the last time we went to Renaissance Fair to this time when we went, they have a lot of Game of Thrones stuff now.
Sure.
So they have like one of the taverns is called the Three-Eyed Raven.
Right.
And then there's like the Game of Thrones tavern, and they have all the faces on the wall, like the God of Many Faces, which is pretty cool.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
But it was always so packed in those areas, we didn't really get a chance to go in and check them out, you know?
Yeah, that stinks.
Because everyone's like jerking off, like, oh, look, I'm in the three, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's very similar to when you go to Universal and you're in some of the Harry Potter stores. Like, they're horrible to walk through, but they're really well done, and people want to take pictures and brag about it. And,
like, we get it. You want a wand. Jesus.
Dude, the line for the wand thing is ridiculous. At least it was when I was there.
Holy hell.
Yeah. What are you drinking now? Same thing, or?
It's a spruce pilsner.
Oh boy. So it tastes like a Christmas tree?
It's very piney, and it's like, normally I don't mind piney, but this is almost like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of piney.
I mean, like I like they make a beer called Juicy Tree, which they use like spruce tips.
Right.
And for some reason, it's like a really clean pine. I really enjoy it. This is it's brewed of spruce needles, and you can tell.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's like it tastes like I just got hit in the face with a pine branch or something.
Perfect. That's exactly what you want from a beer.
It's fucking bizarre, man.
Yeah, I imagine.
Huh.
All right. Well, I guess you want to do the Q of the W now, or do you have anything else?
No. We can move on to the Qs. The Qs of the Dubs.
All right.
I'm trying to check in my goddamn beer here, Brian.
This week's is tough, man. It's tough.
It's the action movie one.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. I forgot. We got to do the recap first.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You want to do the...
Yeah, I just totally forgot.
Oh, my God. This is a 10-4? Holy shit. What?
Christmas tree gonna fuck you up.
This is not well planned out.
You're fine. You don't have to go anywhere.
Not right away. Till like the morning.
Overrated. You can just skip. They won't care.
Exactly, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, so last time we asked you, I'm sorry. Before we get to the Q to W, I did throw up on Facebook briefly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're recording tonight. Any scandalous subjects we should cover? Mm-hmm. So I got a couple of responses.
Okay.
Big Dev, he asked, mustache rides, carnival fun or sexy death trap?
Can't they be both?
They can be. Can be. I've seen lots of carnies with mustaches.
Right. So if you're riding a mustache at a carnival, it could be a death trap, if you're on a ride or something like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or in their, what do they call them, caravans?
Yeah.
Is that what the creepy gypsy carnies call them?
And not to mention just, doing that with a carny would be a death trap, I would think. You don't know what the hell they're carrying,
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure what you get when you combine scabies and AIDS. Skaties, maybe? I don't know.
Yes. I think that's what it is. I do have to say, though, Dev, has been lopping off his beard, and the mustache, the creeper mustache was great.
Yeah, it was most excellent.
I think he should wear that more.
Definitely. It was a good look. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. So,
and then Philip, he included a link to a story.
Oh boy!
And then he asked, "Is the ball in baseball juiced since the spike in home runs this season is at an all-time high?"
This is interesting.
This is a blog post asking the same thing.
I did see that on
stats
on ESPN or something yesterday or day before, that they were talking that baseball's on the record to have like 6,000 some odd home runs, which is ridiculous. So, and it does make you wonder, because the last time there were a lot of home runs, like, people start going, all right, who's using what,
Right.
So yeah, it's either maybe they changed something in the baseball. I don't know, because used to be you had to go to like Coors Field to hit all the home runs because of the elevation difference.
And the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know. That's a good question, Philip. You should discuss it on your podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wait, he probably did.
I'm sure he did.
So yeah, there you go. It wouldn't surprise me if something's changed, but I don't know what it would be.
Right.
So unless Major League Baseball changed like the size of the ball or something like, or the weight, but I can't imagine they would do that.
Maybe more prayers to Jesus.
It could be.
More crucifix kisses.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows that's how you get what you want in the world.
Exactly. Right. All right. So that's what happened to that. Anyway, back to the thing. So I asked, what was their all-time favorite action movie last week? And we have, I got a decent amount on the face page here.
Awesome.
So we'll start with Clint. He says Die Hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
Our pal Jared, I'm not sure. I see what he's doing. Says The Breakfast Club. Emilio Estevez dancing on what I can only assume was pot laced with LSD was seriously action packed.
I don't
and then
think that one counts.
Our old school friend Brian, Jason Morrow.
Oh my, yeah.
Commented, Big Trouble in Little China.
That's a good pick. Yeah,
that is a good pick. So let's see. We also got Philip posted a screen cap of something. I got to open this up.
Is it a nude? Wouldn't surprise me if it's a nude.
Damn, it wasn't a nude.
I knew it.
He says, figured out help out since he didn't comment on the original post. So this Joel Norman posted somewhere.
All right.
Says Predator, no question. Predator 2 a close second. Die Hard, then probably Rambo First Blood 1 and 2, and The Rock to round it out. Jeez. And then he followed up with, shit, I forgot about Aliens.
He hobied the fuck out of that.
He hobied the fuck out of that. Dev, he says Die Hard, Commando, or Leon the Professional. It's hard to say. I could list many, many more, but these are the three I could think of right off the top of my head. Dev, we're asking for one. Our friend Michelle, she says Blues Brothers. It has everything. And True Lies for obvious reasons. I can only assume she means hermaphrodite stripping.
Wow.
Right?
That's not what I expected there.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Matthew McDonough, Point Break, 1991, which Jason Brigger immediately followed up with, I think you mean the remake of Point Break. Ooh, controversy.
Yeah.
Zach, he says Terminator 2, which is an excellent choice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Veronica, a.k.a. V from our Kit Group, the Die Hard series. But it's not one movie there, Laura.
I know, see, because that's the thing is if you have to pick from the series, I mean, for me, it's an easy pick. It's the first one. Like, no question. It's easily my favorite one.
Right.
But it may not be for other people. So. I mean, there's nothing wrong with watching the whole thing. Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, at least the first few. After that, they're really derivative. And I mean, not that they all aren't, but yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Jeff from Hobie. Wait. Jeff from Salty Language.
Wait a minute.
He says Inception. Philip, He says Kick-Ass.
Okay. Kick-Ass was pretty good. Yeah.
Our pal, who I don't think has ever commented on one of our posts here, is Jason Lindhorst.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's a old school name.
Yep.
He says The Usual Suspects, end thread.
Was that actually the end of the thread?
It was not.
Oh, that's too bad. That would have been great if it did get shut down right there.
Because I'm guessing, based on the last name alone, that Jessica here, who must be in a ship with Philip,
damn you.
She says Crank.
Crank was good. I liked Crank.
Crank was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there you go. That was what I have on a face page.
Damn you using ship. All right, so our pal Heno, my co-host on The Crazy Life, he says, gotta go with The Matrix. Then he says, Kung Fu, Guns Galore Fu, Wirework Fu, Building Explosion Fu, Skin Tight Carrie Ann Fu.
That's a lot of Fu.
There's a lot of Fu in that movie. Whoa, Fu, even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that. Matrix is a good pick. As long as you're only meaning the first one. The second two can eat a dick.
Maybe the Animatrix. That was entertaining.
That was entertaining. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. That's the only one I see on the tweets. So let me go to the emails.
Oh, shit.
Fluffy Bunny Ash says, for this week's answer, I'm going to buck the obvious 80s or 90s trend one might expect from someone my age, which is true. That's pretty much what we expected from a lot of people, was, based on their age. And there are many from those eras I love, like Running Man, Predator, Face Off the Rock, Die Hard, Total Recall. I could go on. But I'm going to go with a modern one, John Wick. I love both of them. It's a great world they set up and a hero that actually holds his guns properly. And the first one is premise anyone can get behind. If you can't agree with a guy going on a murder spree of the people that killed his damn dog, then I don't trust you.
I forgot about John Wick. That was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, it was really good. And she says, honorable mention to Mad Max Fury Road, which I was really surprised nobody picked.
My Street?
Yeah. No.
Sweet.
Not even the original Mad Max got a mention. Harsh, folks.
All right.
There's Cheeto Bandito sent in, he says, what are my favorite action movie of all time? Okay, 2 answers. His guilty pleasure is Invasion USA, with Chuck Norris killing everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think
that's a trip to Chuck Norris's grocery store.
I don't even know if I've seen that. And he said he would realistically watch when flipping channels Rambo, First Blood with Stallone killing everyone. So, and
naturally,
that's what I got. I do have from the last 2 I'd read. They also gave ones for the previous week, which was the favorite remake.
Oh, okay. Invasion USA.
Sorry, I just read that. It was his Cheeto's favorite remake. He said, this one's really hard, but I'm going to go with Halloween, done by Rob Zombie. In parentheses, he put his sequel 8 dicks all day, though.
All day, even.
All day? Yeah.
Wow. The old marathon of dick.
Yeah. And Ashley said her favorite remake, Rob Zombie's Halloween. The originals never scared me, but his remakes did. She said, I also give a wink and a nod to Force Awakens. If you see what she did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then she says she'll avoid the whole debate on if Casino Royale is actually a remake of the cinematic atrocity namesake from the 60s.
Yeah, it was pretty, yeah.
So.
All right.
There you
go. That's what we got for that one?
That is all I see. If someone happened to put one on Twitter, the way Twitter sorts it now, it's weird. So
sucks.
Sometimes I miss them. But I looked as far as I could. I scrolled down the notifications and didn't see any more. So.
Right. Well, I guess we have to go with this.
I like what you got. Good job.
Excellent work, people.
Yep.
Which leads us to this week's Q to W, Brian.
This is a tough one.
This became a hot button subject in our Salty Language Kick group.
It did. And this is one of the few times that you actually told me what it was going to be ahead of time.
Yeah, well, because I figured this involves some homework.
It does.
So
now,
our friend,
in typical fashion, I decided to wait until the last minute to do it.
Does homework.
Yeah.
So our friend Garrett, he was asked a question that he then bestowed upon us in the Kick group and suggested it for Q to W, which feel free to suggest Q to W, listeners.
Yes.
Just saying. But he asked, what is your top 3 albums of all time?
Right.
I had a very hard time doing the all-time thing.
And now by this, the way I interpreted it is basically like, what are your favorite albums of all time, basically, or what 3 do you think are best? However you want to interpret it like that. It doesn't have to be.
It's not like a Rolling Stone list.
Yeah, you don't have to and we're not saying guess what other people think. It's just go by what you decide there.
Exactly right. And I had a very hard time with though, because a part of me was like, well, do I list what I'm listening to right now?
Right.
Do I list what just pops in my head first? Or do I list what influenced me to become the adult I am now? I had a really hard time with this one, to be honest.
Yeah. But
I haven't narrowed down, and there's going to be a Salty Language Spotify top 3. Not top 3. Spotify. I don't know what we'll call it. We'll call it something nifty.
But
there's going to be a Spotify playlist featuring all these albums.
Okay.
Because why not? Right? Mm-hmm. So the 3 I got, and I actually already have some answers from the Kick group, but those will be revealed next week.
Yeah.
Is I have Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers of Death.
That's a great pick. Yeah.
Because I listened to that nonstop for a long time.
So did I. Yep. Whoa.
Right?
Yep.
So I got that. I got the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Okay.
For the same reason, I listened to that for a long time, and I love just how funky that album is.
Okay. Yeah.
The slap bass beat, not slap, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's got that. Yeah. Oh, I love it. And then I had a hard time. So I'm like, well, do I go part of me is like, do I go Megadeth Countdown to Extinction? Because that has a firm place in my heart.
Right.
It was one of first metal albums I got.
Yeah.
Right. Do I go some sort of Metallica for the same reason?
Right. Makes sense.
Right. Or do I shift gears completely and go to the very first Korn album? Because I was like, whoa, this kind of blew my mind with this style of music. I didn't know.
All right.
So I threw all that in the garbage. I went with
Bob Seger.
Yes, Bob Seger's Big Dicks in Your Mouth at the Silver Bullet thing or whatever.
I don't remember that album.
It's a bootleg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I went with Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. That's
a good pick. I can't argue with that.
Because I do like me some Johnny Cash, and that's one I've listened to a lot.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was a toss-up between that and Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
Because I listened to Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, I listened to that way
too.
more than I ever listened to The Wall or the So I get that. Get you on that. When you were telling me that one of them was a live album, I actually was half expecting it to be like the Led Zeppelin BBC sessions or something along those lines, And
right.
So my thought process was kind of the same way yours was, which are what ones really, I'm going by what albums I've listened to just an enormous amount of times, basically, because that clearly tells you that they're some of my favorite things.
Right.
And there'll be no surprise on the first one that I picked, and it's Metallica, Master of Puppets. I've listened to that album so many times, and Metallica's always been, a band that I've loved. So, and they were one of the first, hard rock metal, whatever you want to call them, bands that I ever heard. So, cause my brother had, the Kill 'Em All tape, and I remember him playing it one day, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Mind blown.
Yeah. And, I was like, I want more of this.
Right.
So that one, I wanted to put one rap album in here because I listened to a decent amount of rap, and it's tough because, in a lot of ways I kind of want to go, well, I should probably pick, something maybe like a Tupac or Biggie or honestly even Eminem's first album because I listened to that like crazy. And, but instead I went with Dr. Dre, The Chronic.
Nice.
Because that album is awesome and it also brings Snoop Dogg to us. So,
definitely
can't fault that. And then my third one, this was really tough because I had to choose between two albums that I love like crazy. And the first one, I'm going to Hobie this, by the way. The first one, which is the pick for me, is Alice in Chains Unplugged.
That's a good one.
Because their songs always really kind of grabbed me emotionally. And then, taking it down a notch to the acoustic level really made some of their stuff, like it really made you focus on Lane Staley's singing and kind of the pain that was coming through in his voice and stuff. So that album will always have a special place in my heart. And I've owned 2 copies of it because I wore the first one out. Right. So, and obviously, and the fourth one would be like, and I'm sure anyone who knows me would probably be like, I'm surprised this wasn't it, would be Stone Temple Pilots' first album. I forgot. Is it Core? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because again, I've listened to that God knows how many times. And it's an album that I still go back to because, when I'm feeling certain ways, I go back to it. And really, Alice in Chains, it's the same thing. They're both bands that I go back to and listen, especially Alice in Chains. I listen to, like, not just that album, but other albums of theirs too. So,
right.
That's what I'm going to go with.
I like it.
Yep.
So there you go. We want to hear what your top 3 albums of all time are in your humble opinion there, peeps.
Don't fucking add us because we didn't have any Nirvana or the Beatles in our top groups.
Oh my God, I can't believe you guys don't have.
It's all subjective, man.
It's all subjective.
Listen,
exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. If you said, where do the Beatles rank in your favorite bands? They're probably not in my top 5. So,
I fully expect somebody to have the Bullet Boys on there too.
Right.
Smooth up. No, sorry.
I think you'll be surprised if someone does, Tony.
I would be shocked if someone does.
Me too. All right.
Like, dude, that first Bullet Boys album, man, it was the best. I was like drinking and jamming and leather and hairspray and titties, and it was amazing. Like, what?
I was expecting you to have Look What the Cat Dragged In. I mean,
nice.
No?
Little cat, maybe some cat scratch fever.
No.
Well, what was Accept's album? Was it Fast Like a Shark, or was that the song? I can't remember.
I don't remember. That's a great song name if it wasn't one.
It's definitely a song name. I just don't know if it also shared the album name.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. Yeah.
Fast Like a Shark. Hold on. Oh, I can pull up the lyrics. I should look at these.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, Accept. It's definitely what that was. It doesn't say what the album it's off of. Oh, it's off of Restless and Wild, 82.
Is it Wild with a Y?
Oh, I wish.
That'd be so good.
It'd be so good.
Also, that could be a good name for a new tag team of ours.
Fast Like a Shark?
No, Restless and Wild. But it's Wild with a Y.
Got it right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Johnny Restless and, I don't know, Zach Wild. Well, it can't be Zach Wild.
You're like, what? He's an amazing guitarist.
Yeah. I don't know why I was going to Zach anyway. Well, probably because, of him.
So it would be like Johnny Restless and something. It's got to be something silly, like Ron Wild.
Yes. Oh my God.
It's like the most mediocre name.
Dude, it's got to be Ron. It's got to be Ron Wild because you can say that I'm running wild.
Yes. I'm running wild. Oh, that is so exceptional.
Oh man.
So you want to hear these real quick?
Hear what?
The Fast as a Shark lyrics.
Oh, all right.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's fog in the streets. A church clock beats. Midnight. Darkness all around. Are you scared, Brian?
I'm very scared. Yeah.
You better beware. You better take care. Be prepared for the shock. The time has come, and he's the one who's breathing down your neck. Coming from behind, now it's your time. A loser will die. Wow,
this is very predatory.
Fast as a shark, he'll cut out of the dark. He's a killer, he'll rip out your heart. On a one-way track, and you're not coming back, 'cause the killer's on the attack. Surprise attack, coming from the back. An expert of the deadly knack.
What?
Just take care.
Oh my God.
Just beware. Be prepared for the fight. Fast as a shark. Okay. He'll cut out your heart. He's a killer. He'll rip out, or cut out a dark. He's a killer. Rip out your heart on a one-way track. Cause you're not coming back. Cause the killer's on the attack.
Oh my God. This is terrible.
We're not done. Watch out. Fast as a shark. He'll cut out of the dark. He's a killer. He'll rip out your heart on a one-way track and not come back because it goes on. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just repeated again twice.
Wow. That's,
that is some sick ass fucking lyrics.
That is something. I'll say that. It's definitely something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking you need to accept those lyrics.
No, I don't.
You know, from the classic song, the classic band that brought you such hits as Balls to the Wall.
Right. I think you should put that album in the playlist.
Restless and Wild?
If it's available, yeah. So we need to. Also, we got to get on licensing rights for, the wrestling guys.
Let me see here. I got to pull it up. Let me pull up my Spotify real quick, see if fast as. Let me see if the song's in there.
That'd be ridiculous.
Man,
I can't imagine anyone has played it if it is. Maybe members of the band.
Wait.
Oh my God,
there
this
you
is
go.
Awful.
That is something.
There you go. That'll be in the playlist so you can enjoy that.
Ooh, I could send this code to a friend. View album. Let me see if the full thing's on here.
Well, as long as
it is.
Okay. It's like as long as you can put the song in there, that's all we need. But.
So it's here. With such tracks as Fast as a Shark, Restless and Wild, Ahead of the Pack, Shake Your Heads, Neon Nights, Get Ready, Demon's Night. Oh, that's scary.
Wow.
Flash Rockin' Man. That's a guy with a trench coat with his dick out.
Yeah.
Don't Go Steal My Soul Away.
Oh, wow.
And The Princess of the Dawn. Oh, my God. Accept came out with an album this year.
What?
The Rise of Chaos.
Do you know what would have been great is if it was like Accept's greatest hits.
Just one song.
Yeah, it's a single. No, it would have just been funny because, there's always those bands that have been around for like 20 years or whatever, 30 years in this case, whatever. And then you see them put out a greatest hits and you're like, dude, I can't remember anything since the first album,
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is something.
Well, thank you for introducing us to that, he said sarcastically.
Anything that just opens up with
right.
Like, whoa, I'm listening.
I feel like Dr. Roxo was singing on that.
Nice. Yes, indeed.
Oh, man.
Wow, they've got quite the biography here. Jesus.
All right.
I'm not going to accept that anymore.
Oh.
So, what were we saying? Top 3 albums of all time.
Yeah. Show me what you got.
Boom.
Yep. Exactly. So
wow, that was something.
And, for anyone listening, if you have questions as far as, anything, it's basically just whatever your favorite are. It doesn't matter what, if they're compilations, live albums, we're cool with that. So or movie soundtracks, I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah. If you want to have, if your favorite album is just like Buddhist monks just or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And every once in a while they hit that big giant bell with the logs, like boom.
Yeah, sure.
It's super calming and shit.
I almost put that in my top.
I don't know how you could be sitting there meditating up on a mountain and some asshole in an orange robe is just like boom. Like, yeah. God damn it. Ping or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Trying to connect with Jesus over here. Like, we're Buddhists. Like, oh, man, you're right.
Like, wow, I'm really doing this badly.
like, I am so terrible at this. They're like, no, seriously, you've been meditating, trying to connect with Jesus?
Get out. No, I'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, good times. All right, anything else?
I'm sure we could keep going for hours.
Oh, yeah, we could, but we're not going to.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
no, I think I'm about spent.
All right. Well, as usual.
I don't know. I still got like 2/3 of a beer here. I mean,
it's a terrible idea, Tony. Well, the beer's a good idea, but
yeah,
doing more is not. We got to leave them wanting more.
Do we?
Yeah, that's why you just played that accept song.
Oh, that's right.
Can't even say it without laughing.
Are we just tipping them?
It does feel like it. We're edging them. It's fine.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
I have to talk about this fucked up dream I had.
Okay.
Because, normally I don't have these weird dreams that feel like real, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why it just popped in my head. So I had this dream earlier this week that it was a retirement party for a cop.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was at this place called the Pool Store.
Okay.
Right?
That's a good name for a bar.
Yeah. But it's a store in our local mall here in Toledo, Franklin Park Mall.
Yeah.
And it was like right in the middle, and they sell like pool tables and billiard accessories.
Mm-hmm.
But you go down this hallway, and then it's like this really cool bar, like in the store.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I went there, and it was bright and early in the morning. I went, and I was like, had a Bloody Mary, and I was eating eggs, and everyone's partying, and we're drinking.
Yeah.
And there was these two comedians from a podcast I listened to. It was Dave Smith and Louis Gomez are there, and we're doing shots together. Right?
Wow.
And then finally, like, the party was wrapping up, and I'm going to leave, and I'm trying to cash out the bartender, and she's like, well, do you have a Moby card? Or no, she asked me what my Moby number is. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. She's like, well, you need a Moby card to have a Moby number. So I signed up for this Moby program.
You've already said Moby more times than anyone has in the last, 10 years.
I know. Right now, his ears are, like, turning red, like, somebody's talking about me. But, so I just paid my bill, and I left the mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up. And but the dream was so like real feeling.
Right.
I Googled the pool store because I'm like, I think this is a place.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I have dreams like that. Like when I can really get to sleep sometimes, I'll have dreams like that, since being on antidepressants. They're so weird usually. And like that, just like that. It's like nothing bad, nothing really eventful. You're just like, okay, whatever. And then it's over.
Yeah, like it was things that could actually possibly happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that was weird was the two comedians from the podcast.
Okay, yeah. But other than that, you could have told
place
that story
felt so real,
right?
That I Googled it. It was weird. I don't even know what a Moby card is.
I don't know. You created something new, I think.
I did.
I mean, maybe this is like the next Bitcoin.
Maybe.
I don't know. All right. Well, that's certainly weird.
Yeah, it was something. And I mean, that happens to me like once every 2 months. I have a vivid dream like that.
Right.
And the rest, I just, I sleep like, I don't know. Someone who doesn't sleep good, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does it?
No.
Meanwhile, Jeannie's like, that's every night for me. I went, wow, that must be so weird.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess at this point, go to saltylanguage.com. You've already been there probably because, it's your homepage and everything. We know.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah,
there should just be a link from our site to Pornhub. I mean, it's just the natural, transition.
Now, question.
Yeah.
If we just put our logo like on a video, like we kind of have for YouTube, it's just our logo.
Mm-hmm.
Can we upload those to Pornhub too?
I have no idea. Maybe. If anyone asks, just be like, there's sensual voices.
Very sensual voices.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Anyways, back to the whatever, I guess. While you're on the site, you can find all the social media links for us. You can find links from this episode, other shenanigans, and excuse me. You can also, if you'd like to help out the show on the website, there's a Patreon button that'll take you to patreon.com. Actually, you can go to patreon.com/saltylanguage. And, if you'd like to help us out a little bit. And, we put some stuff up there for like reward level things that if you, want to help us out for whatever you can donate, we appreciate it.
I missed a week because I got super busy, but I have been putting up something every week for the Patreon people.
Right. Makes sense.
Yes.
And another way you could help us if you'd like to is if you're going to be shopping on Amazon, please go to saltylanguage.com first. Click on the Amazon banner and it'll take you right there, and then you can just shop away as normal. Doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps us out a wee bit. Yeah,
it doesn't come out of your end. It comes out of Amazon's end.
Yeah.
So if you want to stick it to Amazon, click on our link.
I like that. Yeah. And also, if you'd like to help us, if you're using iTunes, please rate, review, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're using like Stitcher or other apps, to get your podcast, please use the like and share buttons because that helps us get more eyes on our product.
Yeah. When Brian says product, he means a junk.
I do, actually, yeah.
As in our media junk.
Yes, exactly.
Which is just a code word for digital dicks.
No. Maybe.
That's going to be our private detective agency, Digital Dicks. We'll do internet detectiving.
Okay, I like this. Detectiving. Right?
Yeah.
That's a good call. Also on the website, there's the networks that we're part of. And the Tangent Network, Geek Life Radio list, and
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.
Definitely.
Yeah. So go check those out. There's, all sorts of podcasts on there that you may tickle your fancies.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I guess, if you want to contact us. Oh, one last thing. Forgot. Piece of business.
Oh, shit.
Which is, as I've said for the last few weeks, if you'd like to be part of our fantasy football pick'em league, where we're picking against the spread, even if you don't know anything about football, you can join. We don't care. We actually enjoy it as much as anything.
Indeed.
So
and time is a dwindling.
Yeah, you've got like a week left to get in, or 2 weeks, whatever, to get in before the season starts. So if you'd like to be part of that, hit us up via email at saltylanguage@gmail.com, or send us a DM on Twitter, slide into our DMs, and let us know that you'd like to be part of it. Send your email address, and then I'll send you an invite. It's free to play, and it's just for fun. We're just
but what are they going to be a part of exactly?
Dude Mountain.
Dude Mountain.
Yeah.
Indeed. So
I think I still have the one I still have that one. The one that Matthew made us.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mountain, mountain.
There you go.
Wow.
Fucking epic.
I like it.
Do you want to be a part of that epicness?
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Yeah. So, like I said, hit us up with your email address, and I'll send you an invite.
Salty language isn't all dick jokes. Sometimes it's serious stuff like fantasy football.
It's mostly dick jokes, though.
Mostly dick
jokes, yeah. If you would like to contact us via social media, the best way is usually through Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony, because I'm technically there. But if you really want to talk to me, you can hit me up on like Snapchat at salty_language.
You can find me I'm at Ninjitsu on Snapchat if you'd like to follow me.
Boom, and you should, because everyone's always puts up adorable pictures like you did today.
True, I was totes adorbs in that.
Super much. And of course, we're also on Instagram and on Facebook, and hell, if you want, you can if you want to hear your own voice on this very program, you can call us up at 415-857-2589. Leave us a sensual voicemail.
Yeah, call in with your albums.
Yeah, for sure. Call in for your albums, and there will be a link, next week for this here Spotify playlist once I assemble it.
Right. All right. I think that's all the stuffs, Tony. You think of anything else?
No, I think I'm about stuffed out.
All right. Well, I guess until next time, kids.
What? Never mind. Never mind.
All right.
I was going to suggest something, but never mind.
All right. Well, have a beer. You'll be fine.
I don't know if I will.
You will be. Trust me.
Yeah, you're right. Because I'll have this beer. Then I'm going to have all that water.
Exactly.
Then I'm going to go brush my teeth and fall into my bed.
Exactly. See, you'll be fine.
It's going to be lovely.
Right? And then you go to the pool
also,
store.
stay salty. What, Brian? What?
I said you also go to the pool store.
Yeah, dude. It was such a good time. I was like, this is cool. I hope this place exists. And I was wait, we should open the pool store.
No, we shouldn't.
Okay, fine.
You know what we should do, though, Tony?
What's up?
Just like our listeners, until next week, we should keep running wild.